You may have heard about people ending up in narcissistic relationships because of their childhood trauma, but is it 100% truth? If yes, how does it actually work? Is it that you attract narcissists or do narcissists attract you? How does the trauma play out? Let's get answers to these important questions in today's episode. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In this episode, we will learn 5 reasons why unloved children choose narcissistic partners. If that sounds interesting, subscribe to my channel by pressing the subscribe button and push that bell icon to stay updated with everything latest that I post over here. Let's get started. Number 1. Narcissists unconsciously remind you of home and trigger the same responses. You frequently gravitate towards relationships and individuals who remind you of your formative experiences and trigger the same trauma patterns created and reinforced by your parents. Simply put, you behave the same way you did while growing up with a narcissistic parent. If they abandoned and neglected you, you never questioned their love. Instead, you blamed yourself for being inherently bad to make sense of why your parents treated you the way they did. You started pleasing them through overgiving and self-sacrificing in the hopes of getting their love and acceptance. You suppressed your needs because you were made to feel that they did not matter, or you were selfish to focus on your needs. So you had to abandon yourself to survive. The same unhealthy patterns get activated when you meet a partner with a similar personality to your parents. Instead of quickly leaving, your stay is prolonged and you end up trying to fix them the way you tried to fix your parents. The other aspect of childhood trauma that gets triggered is misprocessing the fear/terror felt or sensed as excitement and the familiarity of the dynamics as a minefield you know how to navigate. As a child, your attachment with your parent was anxious, insecure, and unstable. So your referential experience of how it feels to attach was miswired. Wrong associations were created and made between fear and connection. In other words, whenever you felt fear, you thought you were connected with this person, especially your parent in this case. As an adult, if a person or potential partner triggers fear and terror in you, you misperceive it as a signal for connection, not a sign to run. Healthy is boring because it does not potentiate your system the way toxic does. Number 2, you are primed for trauma bonding. With narcissists, you have a connection sustained by intermittent reinforcement, meaning you constantly go through the cycles of abandonment and acceptance. Their hot and cold behavior makes them the source of your pain as well as relief, recreating the addiction you were primed for quite early in childhood. Your primary caretakers' inconsistency trauma bonded you with them. You learned to settle for the bare minimum and justify your parents' abuse based on the same. The cognitive dissonance runs deep in your psyche. You were programmed to whitewash the unacceptable and settle for the occasional breadcrumbing. Now, as an adult, when your partner treats you the same way, instead of seeing the bigger picture and looking for the abusive patterns, you become too myopic and hold on to those insignificant good memories or experiences that are not as good as you perceive them. As an adaptation, your brain alters the perception of attachment with a narcissist and makes it way bigger, way intense than what it is actually. This happens because that is what you had to do right from the beginning to survive. It's like you're a prisoner and the person who has imprisoned you starves you but does not let you die because they need you. The moment they feel they're about to lose you, they give you a little amount of food and water, not enough to satisfy and satiate you, but enough to keep you alive. If you have to settle for that kind of treatment, you definitely will make it bigger in your head than what it is actually to feel satisfied. This is what happens when you are trauma bonded. A narcissist teaches you how to settle for the bare minimum and keep holding on to the hopeless hope that they or the situation will change, but that never happens. Number 3, your parents invalidated your feelings, so does the narcissist. Narcissistic parents are masters at transferring the burden of guilt onto their children, being constantly blamed for your oversensitivity negativity makes you doubt the authenticity of your thoughts and feelings. You start to believe your parents' narrative and completely disregard your own, which makes you highly susceptible to gaslighting. The narcissistic parent controlled you through fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. You were never allowed to feel your feelings. Anytime you cried, you were told to stop crying, or I will give you a reason to cry. Anytime you were angry, you were punished for disobedience and arrogance. The moment you tried to individuate, you were pulled back in through the shame and the guilt they induced by revising the history, by bringing up everything they have done for you as a parent. Your emotions were constantly invalidated and criticized, so you dissociated from them. Now, as an adult, this dissociation does not let you get the emotional feedback necessary for you to have to know what and how you feel in a relationship or with a person. You may feel a lot, but you do not know what to do with these feelings. So as a result, you end up suppressing them, and the narcissist keeps feeding on you. Before we move to number 4, which one of these do you resonate with? Which one of these traits do you have, and which one of these struggles are you trying to work on? Drop your experiences and answers in the comments below and help other survivors feel validated. Number 4, you believe abuse is normal. If someone is repeatedly called names, scolded, hit, and shamed as a child, they consider this a normal way to connect with others. The narcissistic parent constantly criticized you until their voice became your own. This voice shames and runs your world now, and when you meet a partner who reinforces the same, you feel a strong connection with them out of familiarity. You do not see anything wrong with their treatment because that is how you are wired to perceive attachment and feel it. Their abuse deeply hurts you, but you find it hard to do something about it because you felt trapped as a child and could not change your circumstances, and the same trauma response gets triggered in your adult relationships. You believe every partner will treat you like this because you deserve it, or that is how love works, until you wake up and realize how abnormal your normal is and find a way to heal and recover. When someone treats you with respect or is not abusing you, you find it absurd, or that there is something wrong with them, or that they can't see the bad in you. Sometimes you are so thoroughly primed for the chaos that stability feels triggering and unsafe. Safety feels unsafe, and you do not know what to do with it because you are not used to it. Number 5, and the last one, you are afraid of being alone. The truth is that you had no one to rely on as a child. You craved connection and learned to settle for however the relationship was with your narcissistic parent. You chose to settle for negative attention over total abandonment and isolation because you needed someone for your survival. You were conditioned to neglect yourself to maintain a connection with them. You had to chase and please them for attention and affection. The uncertainty trained you to live in constant fear of separation, and you accepted things you would not have accepted otherwise. As an adult with the same unresolved fear, you chase people who are unavailable like your parent was, and you would rather stay with the abusive narcissist than be alone. You would prefer being yelled at and screamed at than face the deafening silence of your loneliness. Your fear of abandonment makes you take the abuse they put you through. If you resonate with all of this and you feel this is you, the best way to heal this wound is to connect with your inner child, or in other words, inner children, because there are many parts of you in pain. Do the healing work and become the nurturing parent to yourself that you never had. And to help you with the same, I have launched a program called Reclaim Yourself After Being Raised by a Narcissistic Parent that you can check out using the link in description. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, please let me know in the comments below. Share this video, drop a comment, drop a like, and make sure to subscribe. I'll talk with you in the next one. Till then, let the healing begin.